Congratulations, football fan. Very soon, you will officially be able to say that you were alive to see the greatest feats in NFL history. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting an NFL three-peat before GTA 6.
Bruh.
Like, holy shit, Rockstar. Do you know how many millions of people have fucking died waiting for this game? Anyways, this is not your normal run-of-the-mill accomplishment. The Kansas City Chiefs are about to achieve the impossible. And say what you want about their 15-2 record. Was it the most dominant season ever? Well... it's up for debate, but what isn't debatable is the fact that this will go down as one of the banner moments in the history of team sports. But for this video, we're keeping it strictly football. Because basketball is fucking dead right now. So how will this three-peat stack up against the peaks of the great dynasties throughout the history of America's real pastime? And apologies to the Green Bay Fudge Packers, but we're limiting this list to only the Super Bowl era. Starting with the 5th greatest peak in NFL history, the 2001 to 2004 New England Patriots. The birth of a dynasty. This period of NFL lore is essentially the story of an unlikely hero drafted in the 7th round. After an injury to Drew Bledsoe at the beginning of the 2001 season, the New England Patriots were forced to give their second-year backup quarterback a chance. A man who, in his whole career, had completed just one pass for 6 yards. And the rest is history. Pretty much overnight, Tom Brady went from inevitably out of the league in short order to Super Bowl MVP. These Patriots went on to win Super Bowls 36, 38, and 39. And they would be higher up this list if they hadn't missed the playoffs entirely in 2002. The only time that Brady missed the playoffs in his 23-year career. Now, I'll be honest, I found it hard to take a 7-year period from a dynasty and call it a peak, but I'd be a fool to leave some version of this team off the list. Jerry Rice and Joe Montana, to this day, are still the greatest quarterback-wide receiver duo of all time. And I guess Steve Young was pretty good too. In this 7-year span, San Francisco made it to the NFC Championship game every year except for 1991. When they failed to make the playoffs despite having a 10-6 record. Now, 3 Super Bowls in 7 years is amazing, no doubt about it. But this list is about peaks, and if it wasn't for this next team, I'm pretty sure this 49ers era would be at the top of this list. Want to know why Cowboys fans get clowned on more than any other team? Well, it's because this is the last time that they were actually good. But when I say good, I mean fucking phenomenal. This dynasty really started with the infamous Herschel Walker trade, which landed the Cowboys a treasure trove of draft picks back in 1989. These picks, among other all-time greats, landed the Cowboys Emmitt Smith, the NFL's all-time leader in rushing yards. Him, along with Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman, made up the Cowboy triplets. And in this 4-year span, they won an impressive 3 Super Bowls with a conference championship appearance in their consolation year. And Dallas Cowboy fans have been surviving off of that former glory for 30 years now. The death of a dynasty. This era is when Tom Brady cemented his place as the greatest player of all time. Simultaneously, this same era ended up being his swan song in New England. Behind Brady and Coach Belichick, these Patriots were able to put together perhaps the greatest 5-year stretch in NFL history. 5 conference championship appearances, 4 Super Bowl appearances, 3 rings. And after his time in New England was up, Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay just so he could win a ring and prove to everyone that he was the reason the Patriots remained great through all those years, not Belichick. And he got that ring against Patrick Mahomes' Chiefs. and their Swiss cheese offensive line. Thought I'd throw that in there. And without further ado, the greatest peak in the history of the NFL. The Steel Curtain, the team that dominated the 1970s, an era that boasted Tom Landry's Cowboys, John Madden's Raiders, and the only true undefeated team in NFL history, Don Shula's Dolphins back in 1972. But when put in the same sentence as the Steelers dynasty, that unrivaled achievement is only a footnote. In this 6-year stretch, Chuck Noll guided the juggernaut Steelers to a whopping 4 Super Bowl titles. Now, if we're ranking dynasties, I would have to go with the Patriots over the Steelers, simply because they were essentially a double dynasty, just with a decade break in between, which included an undefeated regular season, I might add. But all things considered, the Steel Curtain holds the #1 spot for me. The greatest peak in NFL history. For the next month or so, because the Chiefs are about to claim that mantle. Listen, this entire video is assuming that the Chiefs three-peat this year, and if they don't, the title isn't wrong. It will haunt me. I might have to move to Siberia, but they're gonna get it done. And when they do, every team on this list is moving down a spot. This would be the first three-peat in NFL history, 4 titles in a 6-year span for the second time in NFL history, and better results in their non-championship years than the Steel Curtain. This conversation will be over on the night of Sunday, February 9th, 2025. And all I have to say is, please don't fuck this up for me, Chiefs. Never a doubt, baby! Woo!